हेलो चाओ चाओ दोस्तों, आज का बहुत ही स्पेशल एपिसोड है because we have a mouth-watering second leg quarterfinals coming up between probably two of the biggest European giants. मैं AC मिलान की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, unfortunately वो लोग नहीं खेल रहे हैं, but I'm talking about our bitter rivals. Inter Milan are going to take on Bayern at San Siro. And of course, we have Param, the Inter loyalist, with here. Hi Param, how are you doing? Good to have you
All
in
good.
your busy schedule. Busy schedule में से थोड़ा time निकाल रहे हो कैल्सियो चर्चा के लिए. It's good to have you, man.
No, always good to be on the show, and finally, actually looking forward to this preview because मैं Bayern game के first leg के पहले ही करना चाहता था. I think even Pratiush knows this. We were all trying to get a preview done, but unfortunately, for some or the other reason, it did not happen. So I'm glad to have Bayern fans on the channel. We were also trying to get more Inter-Easty, but unfortunately, nobody was available on such a last-minute call. So
Yeah,
at
that is
least
why
now
Param, I'm your only hope, Param. I'm your
yeah,
only
I will
hope
be
on
rely
this.
करना पड़ेगा.
That's why you guys are cousins, basically.
Yeah, cousins. Two
So yeah, we
versus
have
one today.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But go ahead.
do
No, I'm just glad to have Bayern fans on the channel. I welcome, obviously, Kannav and Pratiush and Chintan. By you can take.
Hi guys, thank you for having me here, Sachi. Very grateful to be here. It's my first
so
time.
Kanav,
So,
yeah. So how long have you been following Bayern?
okay, it started in 2014. My Germany versus Argentina was my first match. So I watched.
Wow.
मतलब मैंने जब जर्मनी खेल रही थी तो I thought कि यार मतलब I watched the match because of Messi's hype. तो मुझे लगा कि सब देख रहे हैं मेसी को क्या कैसे देखते हैं खेलता है. बट जब जर्मनी खेली तो I thought कि वाइट वाली टीम बढ़िया खेल रही है. देन गॉड्स जीता और बस फिर जर्मनी के बाद मैं पूरा बायर्न में आ गया. फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर बायर्न बारसा से हारी और फिर बुरा लगा मेरे को बहुत बुरा और फिर तब से लेकर जर्नी शुरू हो गई.
Good cup to flow. And we have of course Pratyush. Pratyush थोड़ा I think परम Bayern fans में थोड़े legend है. काफी famous personality amongst Bayern fans है. Pratyush, welcome. Very glad to have you finally. अक्षय को भी लाने के try कर रहे थे, but of course you are here. So welcome Pratyush. I know you've been following Bayern for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I started following them in 2006, 2007 probably. That was not like a very good time to follow Bayern actually. But, you know, we were just growing up and then those two guys, Philipp Lahm, Bastian, were coming through the, academy and you start, थोड़ा थोड़ा इंटरनेट मिलता है आपको कहीं कहीं कैफे में जाके to look up कि हाँ भाई कौन थे ये लोग कौन नहीं थे and then search up and then the legend of Thomas Muller come through and उसके बाद तो फिर it's been like Bayern, outright Bayern.
यार एक रीजन हॉलीवुड एफसी है यार, मतलब a very decorated club. So yeah, Param, I'm just gonna dive right into it. I know it's gonna be a little harsh. Pratyush, Kannav and Param, फर्स्ट लेग हो चुका है. इट्स ओनली बीन अ वीक, बट तुम लोग को लगता होगा कभी सेकंड लेग आएगा. इट्स जस्ट बीन अ वीक. हार्श रिजल्ट टू स्वॉलो. आई स्टार्ट विद प्रत्युष फर्स्ट. प्रत्युष, टू क्वेश्चंस टू यू. एक्साइटमेंट था ऑफ कोर्स विद सो मेनी इंजरीज तो काफी थे, बहुत एक्साइटमेंट भी था लेग के लिए. थोड़े नर्वस थे. डिड यू एक्सपेक्ट के हारोगे or did you have a clue that okay, Inter are kind of a strong team, so this is a expected tha वैसा?
I kind of rate Inter very highly, especially in Inzaghi's. Inter, Param knows my views on that. I have been very vocal about that. I rate them very well. Although अब ऐसे क्लब्स है जो यूरोप में हमारा वो उतना मीडिया पीआर नहीं है, बट जो फुटबॉल फॉलो करता है they know कि Inter is a very very good club and they are in a very good shape right now. So I knew it is going to be a hard game. I was not expecting a loss, to be honest, especially at home. I thought maybe we'll be able to, do a draw, and then San Siro में जाके we'll see how the tide turns, कि कैसे माहौल होता है, what are the players playing, how they turn up, but then the last minute winner and those defensive midfield errors which have been going from last 5, 6, 7 years in our midfield, and those are all creeped up again and again. We are where we are right now. 2-1 down away leg. देखते हैं अभी how it goes. Although we have a very stunning record at San Siro, actually, not many club boast that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would. Let's see.
Kannav, यार, of of course 1-2 loss है. Of course being a club of stature of Bayern, you are never out of the equation. But seeing how Inter are playing, Inter don't concede goals. एक थोड़ा लग रहा है कि chances थोड़े कम है to go through.
बिल्कुल, yeah, see, I rate Bastogne as one of the best center backs in the world. Even though before the first leg, मतलब I was like कि Bastogne की news थोड़ी uncertain थी. मतलब I was ठीक भाई काश अगर ना खेले. But like I love him and like he was my man of the match also there. But yeah, of course that Demarco is Demarco available for tomorrow?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
available.
he's gonna play.
Like I think like I really want Bayern to go, but I don't think that they have a chance that much. But of course, hope is there. Faith is there.
परम यार ये सब सुनने के बाद थोड़ा नर्वसनेस और लग रहा है बिकॉज आई थिंक हम लोग ग्रुप में भी है, सब लोग बात कर रहे हैं, इंटर आर गोइंग थ्रू. मैं एक क्वेश्चन वापस पूछ रहा हूँ परम. हाफ द टाइम इंटर ऑलवेज गोज अंडर द रेडार, यू नो, इट इज ऑलवेज इंटर. चलो एटलेटिको मरी के सामने भी लास्ट ईयर थी तो फेवरेट्स नहीं थे, अभी फेवरेट्स का टैग मिल रहा है, थोड़ा प्रेशर लग रहा है. सो आर यू ऑल्सो ऑफ दिस ओपिनियन कि नहीं, लाइक सब लोग बोले इजी फेवरेट्स है, बट डू यू स्टिल थिंक नो बायर्न कैन कम बैक इन दिस गेम?
Yeah, I mean you can't rule Bayern Munich out regardless. I think मैंने प्रत्युष के साथ भी बहुत डिस्कस किया. You can't rule them out regardless of what their situation is. At the end of the day, वो जो record था 22 games unbeaten, that was over 4 years, and that's not easy to break. It's a very tough record to break. And what we did, I mean, was quite a feat in the first leg. But again, it's still only a 2-1 gap. I mean, it's still a narrow gap. All Bayern Munich need is एक goal निकाल लिया, then there is the tie is all square. There are no away goals. वो rule नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, right, Chintan bhai? So it makes all the difference. So I mean, look, I know they have Koman back. I know they have Pavlovic back as well. I know Neuer obviously is not making it to the game, still injured. But still, you add a good, at least, obviously Pratiush knows I also watch a lot of Bayern Munich in general. Nothing to do with this Champions League tie. And I know how vocal he is about Gnabry or someone. Obviously, it is better to have a Koman on the bench than a Gnabry. I mean, that all automatically gives you a better guarantee. It's better to have someone like a Pavlovic on the bench available rather than a Goretzka. So certainly they at least थोड़ा तो positive है उनके लिए. So definitely you can't rule that out. And the second thing, Chintan bhai, 100% win record at the Miazza or San Siro, whatever you want to call it. That is, I mean, regardless of the situation, which is
against Inter, Param, against
only Inter. Of course, I shouldn't include your club. So वही चीज है, मतलब that kind of plays in your mind. But again, those were different times. I mean, one of them was in 2006, yes, around that era, which was a different Inter. One of them was recently with Inzaghi, obviously, but that Inter that played Bayern Munich wasn't that great. मतलब मैं तो उसमें पक्का वो, that was a season where we had 12 losses in the league, Chintan, if you remember, like
yeah.
So that obviously the Inter that reached the Champions League final eventually somehow, but whatever. So I mean, I'm not looking for any way out or anything, but if anyone says, yeah, this tie is done and dusted, I would say they're being ignorant, because you can't rule out a club like Bayern Munich. मतलब लोग already neutrals की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, especially a lot of neutrals are already talking about Inter versus Barca, which I don't understand. Like, there is a second leg to be played, and even Mkhitaryan, he said it in his press conference, because he was asked to address कि भाई तुम लोग का जो, you know, some people thought we were like media and all thought we were over celebrating that Fratesi goal. Obviously the reason came out कि Fratesi का जो था वो था, right? But he said we are not idiots. We know we have to play a Bayern Munich. We have to play a club like Bayern Munich in the second leg. He said this today, Henrik Mkhitaryan, and he's like,
I did that. Yep.
Yeah, he said that we are not. He just said we are not idiots. We just were happy for the moment at that moment, but we know there is a whole second leg left to play against a great club like Bayern Munich, and that is basically the same mentality even I have, because you can never rule them out. I mean, I know it's a very difficult phase for Bayern. I have discussed this a lot with Pratiush, and it's one of the toughest phases they have had in a while. But at the end of the day, अब फिर भी देखो, they're still top of the league. You know, ठीक है, DFB पोकाल में नहीं है, but still top of the league, maintaining that जैसे भी हो रहा है. I know draws हो रहे हैं, डॉर्टमंड के साथ अच्छा रिजल्ट नहीं था. But again, यार, you look at the overall picture, still in the quarterfinals, only a goal behind, you never know. So they have every reason to believe. I know Kompany is known to only play one approach ka game and all that, but that approach will, because at the end of the day they are looking for that goal, so that will not be easy to deal with. और फर्स्ट लेग में भी मैं ये नहीं बोलना चाहता आसान था, वो अगर केन ने चांस बेरी किया होता तो शायद कुछ और बात कर रहे होते हम लोग. Will be very honest, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm not predictions पे बाद में आएंगे, so I won't give it yet. But like, I'm not downplaying my team or anything because I know we are doing a very great job competing on all three fronts, and it is fair to say we are one of the best teams in the world currently. But you can never rule out Bayern Munich. It would be utterly stupid, I would say, to rule out Bayern Munich out of anything.
Yeah, actually makes, yeah, you're right. You can't. It's Champions League. You can't rule out
Yeah.
any club. कोई भी team come back कर सकती है. We've seen it over the years. My question to the Bayern fans is going to be this: Vincent Kompany, बहुत बड़ा टॉकिंग पॉइंट है. सरप्राइज अपॉइंटमेंट था हम लोग के लिए, बाहर के फैंस के लिए, बिकॉज बायर्न हैज अ पर्टिकुलर अप्रोच, a particular type of managers they want. So I'll just ask you guys, जब भी विंसेंट कंपनी के न्यूज आ रहे थे, आई नो ही वाज नॉट योर फर्स्ट चॉइस, बट वाज इट लाइक अ टोटल सरप्राइज फॉर यू गाइस? हाउ हैप्पी आर यू विद द बाय? आई नो सब लोग बाहर से देख रहे हैं, जो बाहर के फैंस है, अरे टॉप ऑफ द टेबल तो है, but you guys know what is happening. This is not the Bayern you guys are used to seeing, right? So Kannav, I'll start with you. ये Vincent Kompany जब ही आया, so what was the what was the thought going on behind your head? And of course your Champions League start also wasn't that great in the group stages. So your opinions on, I'll come to you Pratiush, but your opinions on Vincent Kompany first.
Kannav is frozen. I think उसका freeze हो गया, so maybe Pratyush can take over until then. Okay, no, he's there. Okay, Kannav,
Yeah,
it's you.
yeah. Can I go ahead, bro? Go ahead.
Okay, so जब when company news was announced, yes, of course we were in shock because we were like that person just got Burnley relegated. But honestly, I'm satisfied how he plays. I'm satisfied how he controls the game, but I'm very shaky about the formation. Like we played 2-4-4, two different players in the back, 4 in the midfield and 4 at the attack, and like we conceded a lot of goals. But I think that he's the right manager for us, and that came to shock for all of us. But I feel like if given the time, like he can bring great things to our team. Like we saw against Leverkusen as well, he adapted the game very well.
Yeah.
And in the Celtic and against Leverkusen, we saw how Bayern destroyed Leverkusen. So I'm satisfied with him. That's a distinct thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pratyush, do you mirror the same opinion that you are satisfied with?
I have a very counter opinions on Company. I have been very vocal critic of him. So yeah, his appointment was a surprise, yes. But to give him that, he has gelled in nicely at the club. उसने गेम जो उसका प्लान था उसने खिलाया. तो उसकी 2-3 शॉर्ट कमिंग्स हैं जो पीपल कह रहे हैं ही हैज इवॉल्व्ड, बट आई डू नॉट सी दैट मच. तो फर्स्ट उसका इशू ये है कि ही जस्ट प्लेज वन वे ट्रैफिक. लीग में वो चल सकता है, बट एट सम पॉइंट टाइम यू हैव टू स्लो डाउन द टेम्पो, और sometimes you have to be pragmatic, especially when you are playing high stake UCL games. That cannot go always like that. That's a one big issue. And the second big issue with companies, he has continued to play the players who have not been performing, और उनको criticize नहीं कर रहा है. I have a grave issue when he plays someone like Goretzka ahead of someone like Pavlovic. Palhinha, I can understand. He won't suit into his game plan. I can understand because वो ball पे अच्छा नहीं है. He's like a pure defensive midfielder. वो उसका shortcoming है, उसके लिए I can understand. But someone like Pavlovic is there. He has been injured अभी recently. But उससे पहले भी Goretzka was preferred ahead of Pavlovic. That makes no sense to me. वो तुम नहीं कर सकते हो, मतलब. और उसके बाद हिज ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ यंग प्लेयर्स, यूथ प्लेयर्स हैज नॉट बीन राइट. उसने ड्रेसिंग रूम को थोड़ा गिव अप कर दिया है. जो बिग ईगोस हैं ड्रेसिंग रूम में, वो उनके आगे जो वो प्लेयर्स हैं उन्हीं को खिला रहा है. अब समवन लाइक एडम एजनो जो भी ला लीगा में जाके लोन पे खेल रहा है, he could have been here. We have left back crisis right now. He could have started there as well. बट उसने वो नहीं किया. एंड सेकेंडली वो पैब्लोविक को नहीं खिला रहा है. अब थर्डली हमारे अकेडमी से एक और लियो कार्ट करके प्लेयर आ रहा है. ही इज अ वेरी गुड विंगर प्लस अटैकिंग मिडफील्ड. अब जब आपके पास कोमैन या साने जैसे ऑप्शंस हैं जो नहीं परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, तो just throw them in at some point of game, right? Start giving them game time, but he's not doing that. So okay, we actually might get the Bundesliga, which I doubt, because we have tougher ties ahead. और Leverkusen का schedule बहुत easy है. We are yet to play Gladbach, who are a bogey team. We are yet to play Leipzig, and Leipzig is gonna be a away game. So we have two very tough games in front of us. So and then we play Mainz at home. Yet हम Mainz से पहली leg मतलब जो away tie थी, we lost to them. Now we are playing at home, so we have a tougher schedule than Leverkusen. So even the league is not done yet, but I hope for the sake of Harry Kane we get it done, and for the sake of Thomas Muller we get it done. But this season is no way, we have. It's been okay. We can say
it's not Bayern standards, जैसे बोल सकते हैं.
Yeah, it is not Bayern standards. No.
Okay, please.
Yes, Kannav. Yeah, बोलो.
Yeah, I'm done. You can take over.
I think key players have let company down. I agree that.
Kannav, you're a little soft. थोड़ा your voice is a little soft.
there is थोड़ा voice का ये है.
Okay.
You can go ahead. You can be just louder थोड़ा.
थोड़ा सा ऊंचा बोलो.
Let me connect my headphones.
Yeah, I think let him fix until then.
Hello.
No, but I kind of agree, Chintan, by I've watched Bayern a lot this season, and simple statement आप बोल सकते हैं, it's not their standards, because अब जब Bayern Munich की बात करते हो, you associate with very high standards. It's not as bad as when Pratiush said he started following, because that was even a tougher period, I would say, for Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
just around that time, mid 2000s and later, just after that. I remember those games against Getafe in the Europa League as well. Some exciting games. So those were, I feel, tough. Those were tougher times, but this is also almost, it's not as bad as that, but it's almost like it, because of their very high standards, it reminds you of that. Like, you can't be like, you have Lothar Matthäus, obviously, he's almost like the Paul Scholes of German media. वो आके कुछ भी बोलता है. Obviously, as Inter and Bayern,
वो दोनों टीम की साइड ले रहा है. मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Bayern की साइड ले रहा है, Inter की साइड.
He speaks nonsense. मतलब
he loves both clubs, but as I said, I called him the Paul Scholes of German media.
Very rightly said.
Yeah, he talks shit. Like, let me be very real. वो बोलता है he sees Goretzka in himself. मतलब he's letting himself down by saying stuff like that. And apart from that also, like, there is, I mean, you expect more. You don't expect players like Goretzka to start week in, week out, and obviously they're still moving away from that whole disturbed wage structure, which was like, you can't be having players like Gnabry and all dictating terms to so much when they don't even.
Param, not just Goretzka starting for Bayern, Goretzka starting for Germany is also surprising for me. Like, he's still starting for Germany.
That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how he was very close to getting into the Euro squad as well. I remember the story. Obviously, me and Pratiush had discussed it. But no, in general, going back to Bayern, you expect more in general. Like, these are not the standards you're used to seeing from them. Itna dominance ke baad. So I kind of tend to lean more towards what Pratiush says personally from my experience as a neutral. But Kannav, you just wanted to add something. Please go ahead.
Now my voice is fine.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. So I feel like I agree, like how Kompany has treated. I don't like the way I treated Muller as well, and I agree that he's not giving chances to youngsters. But I think players have let us down against Dortmund and against Inter as well, especially Harry Kane. I feel like if Kane was in his day against Inter, like, we would have easily tied the game. So I actually agree with Pratiush that his style of play, his choice of play is not like that great. But if player performs well, I don't blame Kompany for Kompany against loss of Inter. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
No, that's fine.
I just put one as a neutral or as an outsider. I just put in. I was very surprised not to see Thomas Muller start this game against Inter because, as you said, Pratiush, he plays in a certain way, and me, of course, having seen and being troubled and being harassed by Inter for so many years, Inter love to play, और Inter rather उनको अच्छा लगता है when कोई भी टीम उनको अटैक करे. तो
उनको स्पेस मिलता है पीछे.
Exactly, उनको क्या they are so comfortable with the ball. जैसे हमने देखा फर्स्ट टाइम में बरेला कितने अच्छे थ्रू बॉल.
He's a gem man.
He's a gem. So I'm going to get to that. So my
Amazing.
point is to have a player like a team like Inter, उसके सामने उसने ये किया. अगर थॉमस मुलर होता, a senior player who little ball control. But yeah, that was my opinion. I think Thomas Muller should have started a huge game like this. Uh, but I'll get, as you said, chalo, good topic I brought up is, Pratiush, I'll come to you first. Barella. Of course, as you said, you watch a lot of Serie A also. You like Inter. Uh, it is very hard. Sometimes as a rival also, I feel it's very harsh that he goes under the radar. I think Barella is probably top 3, top 5 midfielders right now in the world. What a game he had. He was controlling that midfield. He was sucking the players out. Uh, do you
दूसरा
think
गोल भी
a
ऐसे ही हुआ
player,
ना, जो ही सक्ड इन द प्लेयर, वो गोरेत्स्का को पहले बीट किया उसने वहां पे. ही आई थिंक नटमैग तो नहीं किया, साइड से बॉल निकाला उसके.
हाँ, साइड से
Boy,
बॉल निकाला, बाद में उसने सीधा थ्रू बॉल दे दिया इसको, अगुस्तो को, जो
अगुस्तो को.
ग्रेट रन. सो माय पॉइंट इज दैट will you count Inter as a whole बहुत अच्छा खेलते, but then you have this brilliant talents in Barella and Bastoni who had brilliant games, and Augusto of course, and Lautaro. So मतलब, was it just this कि Barella is going to stand out in every game? Your opinion on Barella and Inter in general?
इंटर राइट नाउ पता कैसे है, जो मेरे को लग रहा है कि इंजागी हैज गॉट द प्लेयर्स जो उसको सिस्टम में चाहिए. तो बेसिकली वो एक पसंद निकाल देगा, दूसरा फिट कर देगा, वैसा ही खेलेंगे वो. दे आर इनटू इन दैट काइंड ऑफ मोल्ड राइट नाउ जो इंटर खेल रही है मेरे हिसाब से. दैट्स माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन. परम माइट डिफर ऑन दैट, बट दे आर लाइक अ वेरी वेल ऑयल्ड मशीन कि उनको पता है क्या करना है, कि उनको फुल बैक से अटैक करना है, 2 स्ट्राइकर, फिर तुम्हारे बॉक्स में होगा, तुम्हारे डिफेंस के आगे 4 के आगे 5 प्लेयर खड़े हैं, तो आप किसको डिफेंड करने जाओगे? जो पहला गोल भी वही हुआ, तुरंत ने सक्किन किया, तारो पीछे फ्री खड़ा है, उधर से क्रॉस आया. तो दैट्स गोना हैपन. बट या बरेला इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड मिडफील्डर. See, I'll probably compare him. I won't say he has achieved that level, but I will probably compare him with Modric. वो उस मोल्ड का प्लेयर. I'm just saying mold. I'm not saying कि वो वैसा है.
Sure. He's on
I
that
know, we
part.
understand. वो टेंशन मत ले, वो सब.
हाँ, वो मतलब people, then come back to उससे
Yeah,
compare
I
कर
know
दिया.
how it goes.
हाँ, so I'm just comparing the mold. वो उसको जैसे बोलते हैं ना उसको, he attacks like a 10, he defends like a 6. So that is a kind of a box and box player which you need to have in your team. And sadly, people expect that from Goretzka, which is not. Neither he defends like that, nor he attacks like that.
Very well put. Very well put.
So that's the big issue which we have. लेकिन but I love Barella actually. I would any day pick him and start in FC Bayern Munich any day. He is that kind of player. ठीक है, मैं तो कई बार परम को टीज भी करता हूँ कि भाई बेस्ट होनी और बरेला इधर भेज दे भाई. ठीक है. तो I rate him very highly. He probably, I mean, if Inter are not able to knock off big titles, I think he might be coming into the top 5 midfielders of the world conversation if Inter are able to do that, for sure.
इंटर को जीतना पड़ेगा उसके लिए.
जीतना पड़ेगा वो, क्योंकि PR आजकल it's all PR, मतलब we know how it's all PR.
Param, I would like to talk about another ex-Serie A player जो बायर्न में है. I'll of course get to the guys later. ये क्या हुआ है किम के साथ, क्या हो रहा है उधर यार? मतलब I think that SB so before the real guy shed some light on it, Param. First of all,
Definitely.
मेरे को एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है. Did he overachieve at Napoli and उसको अच्छा बेच दिया था? या बोल सकते कभी कभी sometimes you overachieve and he's gone at a big price to a big club like Bayern and now he's probably expectation इतने high है. Do you think that is happening with Kim right now?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I hope you can see the screen just when it's a visual representation. Kim की बात कर रहे हैं हम लोग. I mean, Kim का case interesting है because I know obviously it clearly has not worked out at Bayern Munich, but before that यार हमने वो season देखा था नापोली में चिंतन भाई. This guy was crazy good and I've actually been watching him. As you know, I watch a lot of Asian football. Pratiush also knows this. I've been watching him since he was playing his football in South Korea, right? And I always thought he would become a top level defender. And जब वो नापोली में आया, I feel we are seeing a case of जब वो आया थोड़ा obviously he benefited from that momentum that Napoli had gained under Spalletti. चिंतन में वो एक season हो गया था Spalletti का, and then you knew that this team had gelled in and was going to push for that title with all those fresh faces. You remember? Every time Napoli used to fail to get that title, we used to say they need to get rid of Koulibaly, they need to get rid of Mertens, they need to get rid of Insigne, their old guard. It's holding them back, they're aging, get them out. And that was the exact season where all these most of the old guard had left, and all these fresh faces had come in. Kim, Kvaratskhelia had just come in,
Yeah.
obviously. तो
Yeah.
वो एक पूरा बाउंस था, नापोली में एक नई अलग लेवल की एनर्जी थी. एंड जैसे आप हम इंटर की सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं, जो प्रत्युष ने बोला, स्पेलेटी ने अपना एक सिस्टम 4-3-3 में बना लिया था. And you had everyone on top of the world. Osimhen was a beast. Everyone, literally everyone in that team. Zielinski.
Everyone was speaking.
Exactly. And
Di Lorenzo.
Exactly. Di Lorenzo. I mean, Di Lorenzo को हम कितना criticize करते हैं podcast पे. And rightly so, because of what he especially did stuff at the Euros and whatnot. So my point is, Kim Min-jae arrived at the right moment. He benefited of it. The style of play also benefited, but you could see that occasional error or two, which you see now often at Bayern Munich. We know when he tries to push up, and especially when he's in a high high line. जब उसको आप टच लाइन पे भी पुश करोगे, he will lose the ball. It's not like he's the greatest ball player. Technically उतना gifted नहीं है वो. He's okay, I would say at best. So वो सब occasional errors आपको नापोली में दिखते थे, but a lot of it was masked. A lot of it was protected because of how Spalletti's system was, built. It was more of a, आप जानते हो चिंतन में थोड़ा patient build up था ये वो, but by that time that Napoli team had run clear of others. You remember by January they were 15 points clear in first place that season, because Inter की भी वाट लगी पड़ी थी. We were both our clubs were only focusing on the Champions League, if you remember. So there was no other competition for Napoli, and Napoli was only competing on 2-3 fronts at that time. So, and that Napoli lost to you guys. So you guys knocked them out of the Champions League. So my point is, he was there at the right moment. He had a good season. He was very important, and even Napoli actually miss him. I would say the season after he left, you saw the downfall. So it was just a right, क्या बोलते हो, marriage जो बोलते football में, everything came together. Now at Bayern Munich, the way Kompany plays and everything, it is a bit more demanding in terms of what the centre backs need to do. And Kim is clearly getting kind of found out there, because वो highline में नहीं करता है. He's more of your in your face kind of. He's a sort of old school type mold, I would say, from my observation over the years. He's not suited to this modern day game, and but that's where he's suffering.
No disrespect यार, but यार Bayern fans एक झाइट तो मुझे लेना पड़ेगा तुम लोग के. I tweeted about this 2025 and we are seeing Dyer still starting for a Champions League game in a quarter final. It is very surprising for us, because I of course I see a lot of EPL, and to see Eric Dyer there. I liked him as a जो center back तो नहीं खेल रहा था, मतलब of course, लेकिन I'm not just very surprised. Yeah, Kannav, you want to say something? My point is again coming to you. Your whole opinion about this Kim Min-jae saga.
I think against last year against Real Madrid, Dyer, I against Arsenal as well. Dyer was one of the best players in the match. I had no hopes with him, and actually, he was at one time he was our best centre back in the team. I would put him over
के अच्छा ही खेलेगा ना, Spurs का blood है.
Madrid as well, like Madrid, and again coming to Kim Min-jae, he costed us the game against Real Madrid as well, and he costed us the game against Dortmund as well. Like the first goal, which was scored, the header, it was Min-jae's fault for me. So I completely agree. Like I think he was a one-second wonder, but I really hope he comes back like the next season, like Upamecano did this season. Upamecano for us was one of the best players. Like right now, he's injured as well. Yeah, but Dyer, I rate him, but this season no. But last season he was amazing for us.
But Pratiush, मतलब बोल सकते हैं, I understand our players, but is it okay to come from a higher hierarchy, an SD, a sporting director type of person coming and criticizing Kim Min-jae? मतलब does that say something, the desperation or कितने मतलब things are not working well? Does that show that Bayern में some things are not working well, Pratiush?
That is for sure, Kijana. I agree. It should not come ideally in media, but it is coming because उसका regularly वो mistakes हो रहा है. Like उसने मतलब अभी परम ने बोला कि वो कंपनी के सिस्टम इज गेटिंग फाउंड आउट. वो टुशल के लो ब्लॉक में भी गलती कर रहा था, वो वाली मिड ब्लॉक में भी. आप मैड्रिड का फर्स्ट गोल देखो जब हमारा अगेंस्ट होम पे था लास्ट क्रूज का जो गोल मारा, हाउ ही गॉट सक्ड इनटू इन विनीशियस मूवमेंट. एंड यू नो अगेंस्ट एनी विंगर ही वाज विनीशियस, आई एग्री, बट अगेंस्ट एनी class player, you are gonna concede goal there. So मतलब I was very patient with him. मेरा आराम से डिस्कशन बहुत हुआ उसके ऊपर कि नहीं ठीक है भाई, नया बंदा आया है, he's settling in, it's okay, we'll give him time. But now when I see his criticism, he deserves that. Because वो सेम टू सेम आप इतने बड़े क्लब पे, इतने बड़े स्टेज पे रोज वही मिस्टेक कर रहे हो, देन यू तब गाली पड़ेगा सबसे आपको, मतलब कोई नहीं बचा सकता आपको ऑनेस्टली. फिर तो वो फोकस क्रिटिसिज्म होगा, देन देयर इज नो सेविंग यू. बिकॉज मैं प्लेयर्स को बहुत डिफेंड करता हूँ अपने, लेकिन जब मैं अक जाता हूँ फिर हम भी फिर गाली देते हैं कि भाई नहीं बहुत हो गया भाई तेरा, बस कर. मतलब सेम वही गलती. मतलब I was saying in my Bayern group after the game, he was lucky that he didn't get a red versus Inter Milan. He could have got a red in that game itself. तो कंपनी ने समझदारी करी, he pulled him out immediately after that tackle जो उसने वहां पे किया था near the halfway line. वो बार-बार वही मिस्टेक्स कर रहा है तो यार फिर आपको कितना कोई डिफेंड करेगा ना. And secondly, coming to Eric Dyer, man, that has been a surprise for us as well. हम लोग तो उसको एक स्क्वाड प्लेयर देख रहे थे कि ठीक है कभी कभार चल जाएगा, बट दैट गाय हैज लिटरली गिवन हिज लास्ट बिट ऑन द पिच. तो इसलिए उसके लिए रिस्पेक्ट है भाई. मतलब हम लोग मतलब बायर्न फैन ऐसे ही कह रहे हैं कि उसको 1 साल का एक्सटेंशन वो कह रहा है, मेरे को वो मांग रहा है कि मेरे को दे दो कोई भी टर्म्स हो. जब आपको ऐसा प्लेयर मांग रहा है, आपको परफॉर्मेंस दे रहा है, जब आपको तो ठीक है देना चाहिए ना. स्क्वाड प्लेयर चाहिए होते हैं आपको. अब हर टॉप प्लेयर आपका स्क्वाड में नहीं चलेगा ना, यू नीड सम स्क्वाड प्लेयर्स एज वेल. तो इसलिए मतलब आई एम ओके विद हिम एक्सटेंडिंग बाय 1 year. It will be a good appreciation for him, his performances as well, to be honest.
Param, I come to you now.
San Siro, let's get to the game. Obviously,
Yes, let's get to the game. San Siro. First of all, what do you expect? क्या lineup होगा Inter का? What do you expect? Who to start? First of all, I think Bastoni got a good rest. I think last game. I think he was not playing last game. Lekin Barella, Hakan both played again. DiMarco started. So Param, my biggest question to you: DiMarco, August, कौन start करेगा ये game?
Obviously, अगर ये दिख रहा है आपको, मैंने जो स्क्रीन शेयर किया, as of now, as per the training, the expected lineup is this. Obviously, with Sommer in goal, Pavard, Acerbi, Bastoni, जो expected है, because these three are your best 3 centre backs. I mean, Acerbi is obviously better than De Vrij. Pavard is better than Bisek and Bastoni. I don't need to say anything else. Dumfries obviously available नहीं है. I mean, I had told you before कि वो दोनों legs miss करेगा and he's going to be out for a while. So Darmian starts, which is fine because defensively still he gives you a lot of assurances. Left wing back पे जो conversation थी, DiMarco या Augusto, obviously seems like as of now at this very moment of this recording, DiMarco starts. मेरा पर्सनल पिक दो होगा कार्लोस अगुस्टो. आई फील अगुस्टो नीड्स टू स्टार्ट, नॉट डीमार्को, बिकॉज डीमार्को इज जस्ट कमिंग ऑफ एन इंजरी.
Controversial. That's controversial.
Yeah, it is controversial because obviously DiMarco attacking phase में आपके लिए बहुत unlock करेगा. He will help you create a bit more against Bayern, probably. But my point is, DiMarco is just coming off an injury, and this weekend when we played Cagliari also, he got subbed off, and again he had to like wrap his leg, in ice packs and everything, which means I don't think he's fully fit still. Like I have a feeling कहीं ना कहीं उसके fitness issues चल रहे हैं अभी भी. And even if he is, again, my point is, I feel I would just want to go from the perspective of defensive solidity more, personal preference. And I think Augusto is better than him defensively. He has that thoda bulldog type defender, thoda old school. And I've not DiMarco, again, he's obviously overall as a player, obviously he's better than Carlos Augusto and all that. But just that defensive factor which Carlos Augusto brings, I just prefer that. And इसीलिए मेरे लिए I feel I would start Carlos Augusto.
I totally understand, but attacking wise, Augusto was outstanding. That one assist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. See now, Augusto वो जो Monza के लिए जब खेलता था, जब वो numbers डालता था, वो याद आ रहा है मुझे. वो version of Augusto दिख रहा है अभी. Like after what he did against Bayern also, obviously both the assists. So like sorry, 1 pre-assist and 1 assist. So there is a case to start him. There's a very strong case to start him because he's already played against Bayern and he's felt the tempo of the game, the players who've played against him. With DiMarco, he's not done that. And suddenly to put DiMarco against Olise, I don't think that's a wise idea. I would rather have... Huh?
Best Bayern player, matlab.
Yeah, I love Olise. I mean, मैंने Pratiush को बहुत बोला. Yeah, I think for me he's been top to best भी बोल सकते हो. Like honestly, that would not be controversial for me, to be fair. Like he's been fantastic, and that's what I'm saying. Ki, to put a DiMarco that has just come back from injury against Olise, I don't think that's a wise idea. So I would actually bench DiMarco. बट देखते कल के सुबह के ट्रेनिंग के सेशन में कुछ बदलता है कि नहीं. And Lautaro and Thuram obviously start. There's no doubt there because, I mean, Arnautovic might be in good form, but he
No, no,
obviously
no. The
can't play.
chemistry, this chemistry is too good. But
Yeah,
more or less, it seems like your regular guys. Like, as in, these are
yeah.
the
I,
guys
I
who are
mean,
going to get you over the
yeah,
line.
yeah, exactly. Nobody else can really start. I mean, Taremi is he's also returned from his injury, but his season has been not as expected, obviously, and he's been playing it with an injury for 5 months. So, yeah, I mean, this will be the lineup. I mean, I'm pretty much fine with it. ऐसे तो मेरे को कोई complaints नहीं. I'm not unhappy with DiMarco starting. I just want a fitter and a more ready player to start in Augusto. But then there is also this fact which Simone Inzaghi said कि Augusto has been playing 3-4 games back to back now. And we are not looking at one game every week. We are looking at 3-4 games every 3 days. So he could also be tired by this point because he played against Cagliari as well last weekend. So यार ठीक है. I mean यही लाइनअप होने वाली है हमारी मोस्टली. तो no worries as long as they put their heart out. You live up to the tag which everybody is giving you around the world. They're calling you one of the best teams in the world for a reason. So you have to live up to that. As long as they do that and they can maintain focus, then I have belief that we can get the result and qualify for the semis.
Pratyush, San Siro का run continue होगा, and according to you, what do you think will be? Param, can you put up the kind of the lineup for Bayern also? The expected है. Any changes?
Expected हमारा वही है. Stanisic would be left back, I think. Then Kim and Dyer in centre back. Then right back would be Lemar. और mid वही होने वाला है. Goretzka is gonna start again. It's gonna be same pattern of mistakes which are happening since 2021 since Thiago left. वही mistakes होगा मेरे को पता है. Thiago and this Goretzka and Kimmich. And then probably Muller might get a nod at Rafinha. हाँ?
वो गरेरा खेलेगा? राफेल गरेरा?
गरेरा I think नहीं खेलेगा. Although जो first leg में decision था, I personally find it okay. Thomas Muller not starting. मेरा बहुत controversial opinion था उस पे. I was okay with Thomas Muller coming from bench, bring a new energy. Given कि because हमारा जो midfield that is not press resistant. तो Rafa brings that press resistance. Under Tuchel, he showed that versus Madrid as well, versus Arsenal as well. He showed in last season. So I was okay with him starting, to be honest. उसके ऊपर बहुत बवाल हुआ. I was on the other side of the opinion this time, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही not. It was very unpopular opinion so called, but I was okay with him. But in this game, Thomas Muller is for sure gonna start. It's written, and then it will be Sane and Olise then Kane.
Yeah, and I think Chintan, just to add to that, I think Guerrero का issue वही था ना प्रत्युष की he did not even have those necessary training sessions.
Just returned, yes.
Yeah, he had just returned as well. So I think obviously that's why even I was a bit shocked कि भाई Muller start नहीं किया because the impact Muller had as soon as he came on, you could see. But yeah, go ahead, Chintan bhai, you can ask Kannav as well.
कुछ नहीं पता नहीं. I know I'm a huge Muller fan. There's something about him. यार right place, right time. मेरे को of course not a very similar position, but we also had a player. Pippo Inzaghi. सबको लगता था यार skillful तो नहीं है, Shevchenko जैसा नहीं है, but something about Pippo Inzaghi के goal मार लेता था. There's something about Muller that वो half spaces है ना. He always knows how to find those half spaces. So I'm a huge Thomas Muller fan. So Kannav, yeah, you were saying something.
I feel like Gnabry should start the game because I feel like I don't like San honestly, and I don't like Coman as well. I don't like all three of our wingers honestly, but I felt like Sane was best among the three. But against what Gnabry did against Dortmund, like I wasn't familiar with this game genuinely. He showed class and like he was looking thin as well. So I would want Gnabry to start because I feel like Sane अपने mood में खेलते हैं हमेशा. वो अपने मूड से ही आते हैं खेलने के लिए कैजुअल एकदम. एंड कोमन अब्बे भी इंजरी से वापस आया है. एंड I think Pratiush would agree with me here that Gnabry was the game changer against Dortmund.
Surprisingly, he was a game changer versus Dortmund. मतलब एक्सपेक्ट नहीं था. जैसे उसने गेम अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया, उसका पीआर शुरू हो गया नए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए, which pisses me really off. तो मतलब ठीक है, but I don't think मतलब not contracting you, just saying I don't think he's gonna start. I think Sane is gonna start, and then they are gonna bringing Gnabry again and hoping that kind of impact.
Yeah.
Because वो भी injury से वापस आया ना, तो I think Sane is gonna start. मतलब just my line of thinking.
जैसे प्रत्युष ने बोला मोस्टली ऑब्वियसली नॉयर इज नॉट प्लेइंग, ये थोड़ा पुराना थोड़े आवर्स पहले का है, ऑब्वियसली नॉयर इज आउट ऑफ द गेम कंफर्म, उर्बिक विल प्ले, लाइमर, किम, डायर, स्टैनिसिच, यही होने वाला है, किमिक, गोरेट्स्का की मिडफील्ड होने वाली है, चिंतन भाई और ओलीजे मुलर, साने, केन इज एक्सपेक्टेड, दिस इज प्रीटी मच देयर लाइनअप दैट विल स्टार्ट. My question would be, we can wrap this up, Chintan bhai, let's discuss, I think, where this game is won and lost, because for me, if I
I
start
was
with an
just going to
India,
get there. Yeah.
yeah, so you can also answer this because since I've started the conversation, you can answer it as a neutral. Because for me, ये बात बार बार बोलता हूँ, ये हमारी इंटर कम्युनिटी में मैं भी बोलता हूँ, हमारी इंडिया के ग्रुप में और बाकी ग्रुप्स में, कि इंटर काइंड ऑफ have not been as solid this season defensively as last. Now ये थोड़ा अजीब साउंड करेगा because in the Champions League we've only conceded 3, but
I'm
you
just
know
going
what
to
I'm
say,
talking.
wait, I want to correct
Yeah.
that. You are not that
But you
stable
know
in
what
the
I'm
league.
talking about. You know what I'm talking about. How we defend in the Serie A. You know what I'm talking about. कैलेरी के अगेंस्ट भी गोल खाया, मतलब वो थोड़ा रैंडमनेस है हमारे बारे में, लास्ट सीजन नहीं था, इस सीजन है. My point is we kind of struggle against teams with a lot of runners in them. Here, and it does not have to be quality runners, players that are directly at you. And why did I say that? Because obviously मैं pretend नहीं करूंगा कि obviously Gnabry is like doing a great job. I know.
हाँ.
I think हैंग कर गया उसका इंटरनेट.
परम गुस्से में है थोड़ा. No, but I'll get to that. वो जो परम जो बोल रहा है टॉपिक, I feel I'll just cut to you guys. मेरे लिए the game changer or where the game can be won or lost is Barella. You somehow find a way to control Barella. There was a moment Pratiush and Kannav where Lautaro slip किया था, उसने एक अच्छा थ्रू बॉल दिया था. He was
what a ball.
So उसका है ना, उसका क्या है, इंटर का परफेक्ट सेंटर बैक्स ऊपर होते हैं, उनके मिडफील्डर्स पीछे हो जाते हैं. सो ही मेड दैट वन स्विच इन द 25th मिनट पे. बरेला बहुत पीछे था, उसने क्या किया, उसने मिखिटारियन को पीछे शिफ्ट किया, बरेला वाज पुशिंग अप फ्रंट, एंड द मिनट बरेला स्टार्टेड पुशिंग अप फ्रंट, द गेम काइंड ऑफ चेंज टुवर्ड्स इंटर्स थिंग. सो आई फील, I know Baston is world class, Lautaro सब बोलेंगे, but for me, if Bayern somehow neutralize Barella, the game can change. So as a Bayern fans, तुमको क्या लग रहा है कि what you should do, कि किधर like first 20 minutes go all out और patience करना पड़ेगा?
Patience, because जैसे बैंक खेलते भी नो कि वो 1 मिनट में सारे अपने चढ़ा देंगे आगे, and इंटर काउंटर्स में डेडली है. But you are right, Barella को कंट्रोल करना would be the key for us. So Goretzka जब तक खेल रहा है, I personally think Palhinha is a very good tackler for us, but फॉर्म में अच्छा है नहीं वो. But man marking wise, I would only choose Palhinha over Goretzka, and I just hope Harry Kane just finishes the chances. Because last 2 games में काफी scary माहौल हो रहा है वहाँ पे.
क्या बोल रहा है प्रत्युष? What do you think?
वही मिडफील्ड में होगा गेम अगेन. इट विल बी मिडफील्ड. इट इज नथिंग अगेंस्ट इंटर, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. आई रिस्पेक्ट इंटर अ लॉट जो वो अचीव किए हैं कुछ लास्ट ईयर्स में. बट हमारा अगर आप पैटर्न देखोगे फ्रॉम 2021 आफ्टर दैट सेक्सटपल सीजन, हमारा यूसीएल में नॉकआउट का सेम पैटर्न रहा है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम वन लास्ट सीजन जो हमने टुशेल के साथ खेला है. अगर उसको छोड़ दोगे, हमारे पैटर्न्स वही हैं, मिडफील्ड एरर्स, and that leads to counters, that leads to more defensive mistakes. अब जैसे लास्ट गेम में वो गोरेत्स्का का मिस्टेक था, लोग स्टैनिसिच और बॉय हैज बीन फ्लॉप फॉर अस टिल नाउ, उनको क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वो मिस्टेक शुरू कहाँ से हो रहा है, स्ट्रक्चर कहाँ से ब्रेक हुआ टीम का? इट्स स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द मिडफील्ड, एंड अगेन दिस इज गोना बी ऑल मिडफील्ड बेटर इन केस किमिच gives some goated performance and Goretzka does some decently, then maybe we might have a chance. But I feel tomorrow's game might go to a draw and Inter going through.
Param, before you went off, you were saying something.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a call. So that's always happens whenever I get a call. For some reason, my StreamYard crashes. But yeah, no. I was saying that कि जब we generally, whether it's the quality of attackers or whatever, we kind of have struggled with teams that directly run at us or make those direct runs at us. और अगर आप देखोगे first leg में भी वही था थोड़ा. I mean, it might look a bit uncomfortable on the TV, but then again, you see when Sane or someone like the chances, the spaces we were leaving, thoda, you know, that kind of gets our defense disoriented this season, especially thoda. So वो situation अगर हम manage कर पाए, we can keep थोड़ा, you know, Sane hugging towards the touchline, ये वो thoda compact like we did eventually as the game went on, we'll be fine. But any silly errors anywhere, trying to do something what Pavard did, straight away pass to
Oh.
Bayern, and then Kane had that. I don't know what Pavard was doing over there. Like मुझे समझा ही नहीं वो क्या था
But
उससे.
एक चीज बताओ परम, मुझे लगा वो गोल, like when the ball
Yeah,
landed
I
to
thought
Harry Kane,
Kane,
probably
before he,
I would yeah, world best striker I feel, उसके पास बॉल है, मेरे को this has to be a goal, he can't
yeah,
miss
I
this.
thought before he took the shot also it should have been a goal. मेरे को तो लगा चलो 1-0, that's Bayern taking the lead. But yeah, I mean shocking miss. But apart from that, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि runners को हमें handle करना पड़ेगा. For that you need to also have an X amount of energy and whatnot. And we are playing again. We are playing every 3 days. We are still on for a treble here. So I'm not saying obviously that's what I'm getting ahead of. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but playing every 3 days and all, it takes a toll. By in the second half, आपने देखा Inter was a bit drained. Then eventually with the subs we woke up a bit again. So this will require a lot of great focus, great concentration. जो चीजें सिमोने इंजागी बार-बार बोलता है. This will again be a uphill battle again, like regardless of their absentees. Like for me, it's mainly again. I think Pratiush said midfield battle. I think वो manage करे जैसे हमने first leg में किया था. As long as we identify the flaws they have in midfield with the Kimmich Goretzka pair, we should be fine. As long as we capitalize on their flaws, we should be fine. And Champions League में, one last thing I'll say is a big difference I've seen in comparison to previous seasons. We have been very clinical. In the previous seasons, Chintan, we used to miss a lot of chances in the Champions League. This season, that has not been
Atletico
the
Madrid is a prime example.
Yeah. Arnautovic cost us that tie single-handedly. It should have been 3-0 at the San Siro, and we should have gone through last season. That's the reality of it. But kudos to Atletico Madrid. Now that's done and dusted. My point is, this season वो level of clinical finishing दिख रहा है आपको. That finish by Lautaro Martinez, that's not easy. I think all of us can agree.
Amazing.
Even what Fratesi did at that counter is not easy to do. So just the basics, I would say. You played Bayern Munich in the first leg. Yes, they will have 2 players back. So you need to respect them, but you also need to know how to manage the game now. You just have to manage it properly. Unless you kind of go Pazza Inter, हम जो बोलते हैं Chintan, my crazy Inter, वो वापस आ गया तो I can see obviously Bayern eventually going through. You just have to keep your head level, and this jinx or whatever you want to call it cannot be playing on your head. Like obviously Inter have always lost to Bayern Munich at home. Yeah. But under Simone Inzaghi में एक चीज बोलता हूँ, ऐसे बहुत सारे again jinxes or whatever you want to call it, unfavorable records बहुत सारे तोड़े हमने. So you have to again have that confidence if you want to. My point is from an Inter perspective and not with disrespect to Bayern. If you want to show you are an elite club or you want to get back to that level, if you as Pratiush said, right, if you want to have Barella in that conversation, Lautaro in that conversation of, for that PR and everything, you have to win something very significant. Yes, we have won the Serie A, we won the Coppa Italia, we won the Super Coppa, but now winning the Champions League again is pending. So you have to dream, you have to make all these things possible, you have to cut out all this silly nonsense. So for me, that's where I'm coming from. I know this will be a super tough game. I would not be surprised if Bayern Munich eventually went through as well. But again, I have confidence. मैंने प्रतीश को भी बोला था, मुझे भी लग रहा है शायद ये draw होगा and we'll go through. That's how I feel Inter will qualify. मुझे लग रहा है this will end in a draw.
Right. तुम लोग तो सीधे prediction पे चले गए यार. I think this. I think ये game वही रहेगा. I feel Bayern पहले 20 मिनट all guns blazing. अगर Inter वो settle हो गया तो मेरे को लगता है Inter will go through. But I have a very sneaky feeling. Unfortunately, I would like to say for Serie A personally happy, but Inter should, I feel, will go through. Pratiush, so your prediction is who will go through to the next round?
Inter Milan, I think, will go through, and it will be a draw.
Kannav, your prediction?
My mind says Inter, but my heart says 2-1, and we are going to go to penalties, and penalties by Bayern. Bayern gonna win, of course.
One thing I'll give you, if it goes to penalties, we are not good at penalties. We only have like 2 to 3 good penalty takers. Hakan is one of the best penalty takers in the world. Like in general, he never misses. But apart from that, with the only real good penalty takers we have is Acerbi and I would say DiMarco थोड़ा बस, बाकी इतना कोई खास नहीं, मतलब ठीक है but खास नहीं.
हमारे पास भी नहीं है. हमारे पास भी हैरी केन नहीं है. You might have seen Gnabry missing in that Bundesliga game जिसने shot मारा पोस्ट पे. तो हमारे पास भी नहीं है. तो penalties में again it will be जो होता है even Steven ties होगा और it could be very.
अगर पेनल्टीज तक गया, आई थिंक इंटर प्रेशर में होगा बिकॉज बायर्न पुलिंग बैक. पेनल्टीज तक गया, मेरे को लग रहा है कि बायर्न का थोड़ा साइड हैवी हो. बट आई फील इफ इंटर स्कोर्स इट विल ब्रेक बायर्न्स बैक कंप्लीटली. अगर इंटर ने पहला गोल मार दिया, so I feel and Inter don't concede a lot. I think
Yeah.
एक सेट पीस है, आई हैव अ वेरी डर्टी फीलिंग कि एक बहुत गंदा बोरिंग सेट पीस गोल जाने वाला है फ्रॉम आइदर साइड. सो अगर बायर्न का पहला गोल गया तो, बट या यू नीड प्राइम हैरी केन. So
जैसे लेवरकुसेन के अगेंस्ट खेला, देन we might need him because वो लोग कह रहे हैं कि मिडफील्ड में क्यों ड्रॉप हो रहा है इतना. मिडफील्ड में ड्रॉप होना पड़ेगा जब आपके पास रेसिस्टेंट प्लेयर नहीं है जो बॉल्स आगे स्प्रेड कर पाए वैसे जैसे वो करता है. His creativity in that
Yeah.
but
midfield.
I feel one of the सबसे underrated quality of Harry Kane is how good he is with his through balls. He is
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
absolutely
agree.
amazing.
Yeah.
Ball
Very
playing, his
underrated.
ball playing.
Ball playing is amazing
Yeah.
for England
What
के
a
लिए भी जो
amazing.
करता है. His passing range
Yeah.
is spectacular. It goes unnoticed because उसका body structure बहुत it's not a very athletic body structure जैसे बाकी सब players के होते हैं लेवेंडोव्स्की types. लेकिन उसके passing ranges probably the last time I'm going to go to that far. Last time I've seen an attacker who was so brilliant with his passing. मेरे को इतना जो इसका passing was as good as his finishing was R9. मेरे को R9 का passing outstanding लगता था, the OG रोनाल्डो का. I'm not counting Messi and CR7 as strikers because they are not strikers.
Correct. Agreed.
So I feel that is amazing. But
Yeah.
this is any
Harry
last
Kane,
words?
Yeah. Any before I say, like, I mean, that is one thing to look out for. Ki Harry Kane between the lines also. Like,
Amazing.
at times people say, "Yaar, kya kar raha hai?" But you should see the effort he makes, the way he unlocks the game, and that's why, like, Muller for me again, he will start mostly tomorrow. He has to start because that combination can do, in this
Wonders.
situation where they have to win, that combination can make a difference if needed. It's up to Inter now to read the lines properly, जो हम कर सकते हैं, but it's going to be a tough task for us. I'm telling you, even with their injuries, it's not going to be easy. But yeah, before you guys,
only thing is
हाँ.
what I love is थॉमस मुलर के सेलिब्रेशंस. उसके पेट को लग के भी गोल गया. पीपो इंजागी टाइप वो जैसा सेलिब्रेट करता है कि उसने ऐसे वर्ल्ड बीटर स्ट्राइक मारा है. मतलब so Fratesi के celebration, of course Fratesi's celebration had another reason because of his
Another
grandmother,
reason,
I think.
exactly.
Grandma, yeah.
But you expect Thomas Muller, if he scores a goal, you expect that kind
No,
of
but
celebration from.
He will do
that's
like
him ना,
this.
like उसका वो legend है, उसका वो reputation है. I mean, at this point, तो मतलब, I mean, he's earned it, right? He can do
Yeah,
what
he
he
deserves
wants.
it. Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
guys,
So,
thank you for having you. Any last words, Kannav, Pratiush?
yeah, any last
about
words,
the
one by
game?
one, guys? If you want to say anything, please do so.
Kannav, go ahead.
Okay, so I feel like okay, so first of all, thank you for having me. And it's
Pleasure.
been such a great interview. And I think fine, it's gonna win tomorrow. So that's it.
Fair enough. No, that's fine. That's absolutely
You have
fine.
to
Yeah,
believe.
it's your
You have to believe.
Yeah, exactly. You have to
Of
believe. If
course,
you
yeah,
as a
of course.
fan don't believe, who else will believe? Where can people
Mhm.
follow you? Just let us know, because obviously we know that you
Uh,
are you create stuff on Instagram and a lot of Bayern related stuff. Where can people follow you?
mhm.
If
So my Instagram only, I've just started YouTube and I'm posting my Instagram reels only there. So it would be great to
Yeah.
follow me. If you are seeing this, just follow me on Instagram. And when I come back again, if you guys will have me, then of course I'll have more videos uploaded on YouTube. Then subscribe to me as well.
Sure, we'll link your channel and Insta handle in the description. Pratyush,
Of
anything
course.
you want to say?
First of all, thank you for having us, guys. And
Sure.
secondly, compliments to you guys. आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा चैनल शुरू किया है.
Okay.
I follow you guys on and off, and I come in the chats as well to pull Param's leg as well. You might have seen my comments
Yeah.
here and
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
So I do that, but yeah, very very nice initiative by you guys. And on the match, I really hope we go through, but I think it's gonna be a very uphill task and gonna be some kind of miracle with this team we want to go through. But yeah, for me, Inters are gonna be favorites. बाकी चलो, let's see. It's a game of football. It's a funny game. Anything can happen on the
Exactly.
pitch.
Anything can happen at the end of the day,
Pratiush,
right?
but if by chance Bayern gets kicked out, are you gonna support your friend Param to win the Champions League, Inter ko?
Yeah, these guys. No, I mean, yeah, Inter. I will probably support for the Param, but the other team which I'm liking this season is PSG as well.
Yes,
Those
yeah.
kids are really doing some
Yeah,
wonderful
they're doing.
job.
They're definitely doing a wonderful, and obviously you guys can follow Bayern India. I mean, they have their own Insta handle and whatnot.
Yeah, I
Official
do.
Bayern Club of India. Pratyush is a part of that, so you guys can follow them there if you're interested. Again, we are glad to have these guys on Chintan, because there goes to, so like, एक तो people forget that Bayern, people obviously know Bayern is a huge club, but people forget that a huge club like Bayern has a lot of fans in India. Like a lot of people tend to overlook that. Me and Chintan Bhai were discussing this the other day in general. Like people tend to overlook like a big club like Bayern has tons of fans in India. You get a lot of random, like a lot of people asking us कि Bayern का fan club है कि नहीं ये है नहीं, not just Bayern but Dortmund, Bayern, but we have to remind them कि भाई 10 other club के fans है, तुम लोग को सिर्फ थोड़ा ढूंढना पड़ेगा, like so it's good to see Bayern fans, and hopefully now with you guys have seen it on the channel, you guys can follow Bayern India, you guys can follow Kannav, all these guys, there are proper Bayern fans as well, so definitely do check them out. Chintan, anything you want to say before we close this?
No, I just think it's going to be an exciting time. मेरे लिए तो ऐसा लगेगा कि पॉपकॉर्न लेके बैठ जाओ, मैं मजा आएगा. I think blockbuster. It's blockbuster. Listen, like the number of titles both the teams share. I feel it's the tie of the entire Champions League quarterfinals का. So and plus the most balanced tie भी बोल सकते हैं. The tie सबसे balanced रही है. So I think it's going to be a great match. Whoever wins, एक typical cliche word बोल दूंगा, football will win eventually in the end. But no. I feel like best of luck to both the teams. Whoever wins is going to be a great tie. Pratiush and Kannav, I hope we can get you back soon. बहुत सारा discuss करेंगे Bundesliga, Bayern. We'll do something else also. And Param, of course, पता चलेगा Thursday morning को परम का मूड कैसा होगा. परम के रील आएंगे, परम रहेगा. परम is very diplomatic. वो थोड़ा बोल रहा है. He underplays Inter, but Inter, I feel, according to me, are one of the best.
हमारी WhatsApp इसके ऊपर personal chat पे हो चुका है first leg से पहले मेरा और परम का.
नहीं, all I can say is नहीं, diplomatic अलग चीज है. हाँ बोलो.
Of course you have to be boss. मैं भी अगर मेरा क्लब ऐसा होता तो मैं भी थोड़ा underplay करूंगा. Underplay करना is important.
See, the simple situation is like this, right? You have, after 2 years after failing to win that Champions League final against City, my simple logic is we have a better squad कर सकते, but you can't get carried away. I don't like to go out and say Inter is the best team in the world. I don't think you're the best, but there is a real chance to win this. I'll be very honest. Like obviously अंदर से थोड़ा excitement रहता है कि भाई, because I keep saying this on our podcast. Pratiush, I don't know if you've seen it. It feels like a genie in the bottle moment. If not now,
then it will be a big heartbreak for you guys.
Yeah, because I don't know after this, like the whole policy changes with the new owners, थोड़े younger players आएंगे, and all these veterans slowly might be phased out over the years.
Yep.
Cycle खत्म हो जाएगा.
Exactly. Even today, a player like Mkhitaryan spoke about retirement. He said, maybe I might retire at the end of the season, or maybe in 1-2 years I will play more. But then you know how valuable he is to the team. Chintan, how much I praise Mkhitaryan to this day. He's a great player. उसकी जो mentality अगर आप पढ़ोगे आज के press conference, it's unreal. And all these things will change come next season. So for me, it comes from a place of, if we don't do it this season, I don't know when it will happen for a while.
ये basically, just to cut you off, ये basically आपका जो Bayern का 2013 season था ना, इसमें we went to win the treble. ये आप लोग कुछ वैसा season है कि players in getting older and
exactly. No, I agree with you. And you are fighting. You see, either you win nothing or either you win everything. ठीक है, आप 1-2 ट्रॉफी भी जीत सकते हो. But ऐसा सिचुएशन है, आप स्कूडेटो में सिर्फ 3 पॉइंट आगे हो नापोली से. I mean, that's a close race. Coppa Italia, Chintan bhai, obviously their club is playing hardball now because they need a European competition, so they'll want to win the Coppa Italia. So that's not done.
Only team Inter has not beaten this season. So
yeah, this season is AC Milan, funnily enough. So, मतलब there is a lot at stake. I don't know how this ends.
एक simple logic बताओ. Teams like Bayern and Inter, तुम लोग लीग जीतोगे ना तो कोई बोलेगा नहीं हाँ तो लीग तो जीतने ही वाले थे. Unfortunately ऐसा हो गया है.
It's taken for granted basically.
Yeah, and because this is again PR है. जो बाकी जो EPL के जो फैन है उनके PR हो गया कि बायर्न तो जीतेगा ही. You don't understand. You still have to win it. You still have to put in the effort to win it.
Exactly.
वही 36-38 games खेलना है आपको पूरा सीजन उस लेवल के ऊपर.
Exactly.
वो समझते नहीं है. So unfortunately Pratiush perfect बोला था कि if you need to win this, even for Bayern players, even for Inter players or anyone outside EPL and top 2 of La Liga teams, you have to win everything just to say that your players are the best in the world.
Yeah.
So it's all PR, man. These is all PR. Sadly, it's PR.
No, I agree with you guys, and again, I hope people follow you guys on your social media handles. Again, thank you guys for coming on. May the best team win, of course. Hopefully, I'll hope for Inter win, but obviously, I hope it's a clean game. Above all, I'm tired of refereeing errors in today's day and age. पक गया मतलब हर एपिसोड में आके refereeing errors के बारे में बात करके. But yeah, Thank you guys for coming on. As all
Just
I can
one
say-
short, just one short call out. जो भी इस कैल्सी और चर्चा को follow कर रहे हैं, guys, get in contact with them, and you can get in contact with me, and then we can, get our Bayern base bigger and bigger.
Sure,
Yeah,
Whosoever.
Of course.
definitely.
Just a call out.
Again, guys, there are a lot of Bayern fans in India. Yeah, like I've even come across some other Bayern creators from the country, like Kannav. So, भाई है इधर मतलब again, it's a big club. You need to remember that. So, definitely, अगर आप Bayern के बारे में और जानना चाहते हो, Bayern India को follow करो, Kannav को follow करो. There'll be other creators as well. We'll link their social handles in the description once this episode is out. So, please do check it out. And as we always like, share, and subscribe. Chintan, we are on the road to 1.5k subs, and there's a lot more coming. We have planned a lot. Chintan, थोड़े episodes are already lined up, so definitely do subscribe and share, and we'll see you guys in the next episode very soon.
Yep.
Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you, guys. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming on.